Hello fellow model builders, I've always loved putting together plastic airplane kits, and in recent years I've been spending more time on older, simpler kits, the kind I used to build back in my childhood, in a very different times. This time I'm showing you Pioneer's Polikarpov R-5 kit from a year around 2000, which actually goes back to Frog's original mold from 1977. The box contents are pretty basic, simply cast parts without much details inside or outside. I started with the radiator under the fuselage, where I made a new mesh and added some side framing. Inside the cockpit, I first built a basic structure out of styrene along with the floor. Then came a dry fit of the radiator. After a few hours of work, I managed to squeeze quite a lot of detail into the cockpit, using reference photos from the web. Both instruments panels got filled with various gouges, and I also scratch-built things like a machine gun mount, pedals, seat and control stick. That set the interior up for painting and weathering. The propeller blades from the kit were way too thin and shapeless, so I made new ones from styrene sheet. Online photos also showed that the nose shape was completely wrong, so with some extra styrene pieces and sanding I reshaped it. On both sides of the nose I added new exhaust openings using thin metal sheet. The kit wheels are poorly molded and the wrong shape, so I dug into my spare box and found two better ones. The landing gear itself was decent, so I only added a simple axle to connect the wheels. On the wings there was a small device, though I'm not so sure what it's supposed to represent. Before painting, I also added cooling slots on both sides of the nose. For the paint scheme I went with the standard green and black camouflage. For the black I used Vallejo Model R-56, and for the green I mixed Akan Vallejo Model Core 942 plus some white. First I put on a black coat of paint and then masked off the parts with Uhutak. After that I applied the green paint. I painted the upper wings separately because it made it easier to paint the whole model like that. Since the aircraft I chose only carried red stars without numbers, I used decals from Balkan models set women pilots in the Great Patriotic War. The whole model was covered with a gloss coat to prep the weathering. I filled the panel lines with black and grey pigments. Under the wings, the plane carried two containers for supplies, which I built from old kit parts and silver self-adhesive foil. Finally, I added the nose propeller, the rigging wires between the wings, and the clear parts for both cockpits. And with that, the model was finished. Hope you enjoyed. Have a nice time.